All right, let's talk about something that is just so frustrating. You go to bed, you get your full 8 hours, you do everything right, but you still wake up feeling completely drained. Today, we're going to dig into why that happens and explore how a few secrets from Japan might just hold the key to a truly restorative night's sleep. I mean, does this sound familiar? You avoid caffeine, you get those 8 hours, but when the alarm goes off, you just feel foggy, heavy, like you barely slept at all. It's this incredibly draining cycle, and trust me, if you're feeling this, you are definitely not alone. Okay, so here's the brutal truth of it. We've been measuring the wrong thing entirely. We're all completely obsessed with the quantity of our sleep, right? That magical 8 hour number. But the real goal isn't just about logging time in bed. It's about achieving deep recovery. And that one little shift in focus, well, that changes everything. So in Japan, there's this really fascinating perspective that sleep isn't something that just happens to you at the end of a long day. It's actually seen as a discipline, a skill. It's the active process of preparing your body and your mind for that essential repair work that needs to get done overnight. And this really lays out the two approaches perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you have the habit of just chasing hours, kind of crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. And on the other, the discipline of actively mastering recovery. It's about intentionally working with your body's own biology. So the big question is, how do we actually do that? Well, the first secret is all about a powerful biological switch that most of us completely ignore: temperature. It turns out that a simple, deliberate change in your body's core temperature is one of the most effective ways to signal to your brain that it's time for deep, restorative rest. And this brings us to the traditional Japanese ofuro, or hot bath. Now, this isn't just about getting clean. The real magic, the secret sauce, happens the moment you step out of that hot water. That sudden, rapid drop in your core body temperature is a hugely powerful biological trigger that tells your brain, okay, it's time to start shutting down for the night. And here's the cool science behind it. Your brain physically needs to cool down by a couple of degrees to release melatonin, that all-important sleep hormone. So without that temperature drop, you're essentially fighting your own biology. It's like trying to swim upstream to get to sleep. So how cool are we really talking here? Well, get this. The ideal temperature for your bedroom, according to this discipline, is a surprisingly chilly 16 degrees Celsius. That's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Just think about that for a second. It completely goes against our whole idea of a warm, cozy bedroom. So what we have are two completely competing ideas. On the left, you've got the cozy room, that warm, insulated space that actually traps heat and works against your body. And on the right, you have the cool cave, an environment that doesn't just allow you to cool down, it actively helps trigger the biological shutdown you need for deep repair. Okay, now for the second pillar of sleep discipline. This one has nothing to do with temperature and everything to do with light. Specifically, the artificial blue light that's blasting out of our devices. Let's just be blunt here. Your phone is probably the single biggest obstacle standing between you and deep recovery. This quote, it really forces you to take a hard look at your space. For so many of us, our bed has become our movie theater, our office, our social hub. This approach demands that we restore its one and only true purpose: to be a sanctuary for rest, period. The science here is so simple but so powerful. That blue light from your screens is basically screaming, wake up, at your brain. It tricks it into thinking it's still daytime, so it blocks melatonin production and keeps your mind buzzing. The solution is tech discipline. It allows that melatonin to finally flow and creates what's beautifully described here as a peaceful landing for your mind. So what exactly is tech discipline? Well, the idea is simple, but actually doing it, not always so easy. It's the conscious practice of creating a digital sunset for yourself by putting away all screens, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, at least 1 full hour before you plan to sleep. This gives your brain the time and the signal it needs to power down naturally. Okay, so we've covered the two key disciplines: managing your temperature and managing your tech. Now let's bring it all together and make it real. This isn't about some massive, intimidating lifestyle overhaul. It's just about trying one small but really powerful experiment tonight. But before we get to the actual steps, there's one last crucial mindset shift. We so often fight being tired, right? We see it as a sign of laziness or weakness. This perspective totally reframes it as a badge of honor. Your body is telling you that you worked hard and you have earned this rest. It's a signal to be respected, not ignored. So, here is your mission for tonight. Step 1, about an hour before bed, take a hot bath or shower. Step 2, turn your thermostat down to that cool 16 degrees Celsius. And step 3, which for most of us was the hardest part, put your phone away. And I mean really away, like in another room entirely. The whole point of this is simple, for you to feel the difference between waking up rested and waking up truly recharged. It really all comes down to this one question. Treating sleep as a skill can fundamentally change how you feel every single day. The methods are simple, but the results? They can be totally transformative. So, are you ready to wake up recharged?